Have you ever noticed how easy it is to waste an entire evening without even realizing it? You come home thinking, okay, I have plenty of time, I can do something useful. But then, almost in a trance, you start scrolling through your feed, binge-watching shows, or clicking on random videos, and suddenly, it's midnight. The day is gone, tomorrow is another workday, and you didn't even get proper rest. And that's not just one evening. Weeks go by, months pass. Then one day you realize that a year ago, you also wanted to start working out. A year ago, you thought you'd read more books. A year ago, you promised yourself you'd learn something new. But it all stayed in your head, just as thoughts. Why does this happen? Why do we promise ourselves one thing, but end up doing something completely different? The answer is simple. We don't take control of our evenings. They just slip away on their own. And if nothing changes, a year from now, everything will still be the same. But with a few small tweaks to your routine, you can turn your evenings from wasted time into something that actually works for you. Today, I'll share 10 things I changed to stop wasting my evenings. No boring, just stop using your phone or just start working out. It's much easier and much more effective. And at the end, I'll share what helped me not give up on day 2. But for now, drop a comment. What usually eats up your evenings? I'm pretty sure we have at least one common struggle. The first thing I did was set clear time boundaries. It may sound simple, but it's incredibly effective. I realized that if I didn't define a specific time when work ends and my evening begins, it was too easy to fall into the trap of, I'll just do a little more. We've all been there, especially if you work remotely. I decided that at 6 p.m., work is over, no exceptions. To make this stick, I set phone reminders to create a clear transition from work to personal time. At first, it was tough to stick to this rule, but over time, it became easier. Once I started marking the end of my workday, I developed a real routine that helped me unwind. Why is this so important? Setting firm boundaries isn't just about organizing your time, it actually helps reduce stress. I felt like my evening finally belonged to me. Plus, it allowed me to focus on other activities and spend my evenings the way I truly wanted. The second thing I did was start exercising. Sounds cliché, right? But physical activity completely changed the way I experience my evenings. Instead of just sitting around and mindlessly watching TV, I realized I could use that time for something way more productive. At first, I experimented with different activities, running, cycling, yoga. It felt challenging, but over time, I found workouts that I actually enjoyed. For example, I started going for evening runs in the park near my home. It wasn't just about exercise. It became my way to disconnect. I'd put on some music or a podcast, and before I knew it, time flew by. When I start my evening with movement, my energy levels go up, and I feel way more motivated to do something meaningful. After a run, I feel better, more confident, and overall just happier. Plus, exercise is an amazing stress reliever. Feeling drained after work? Get outside, move your body, it works wonders. The third game changer for me was reading books. Yep, you heard that right. I used to think I was too tired after work to do anything mentally demanding. But once I started reading regularly, a whole new world opened up. It became an amazing alternative to mindlessly scrolling through social media. I started small, with fiction or light nonfiction, and soon I was hooked. Reading before bed became my thing. Sometimes I'd get so into a book that I wished it would never end. It wasn't just relaxing, it was eye-opening. Books introduced me to new ideas, fresh perspectives, and ways to improve my life. One book on personal productivity completely shifted how I approach my evenings. I realized that reading wasn't just entertainment. It was a tool for growth. Now, whenever I have free time, instead of reaching for my phone, I reach for a book. And here's a bonus. Reading before bed actually helps me fall asleep faster and improves the quality of my rest. Try it out. Start with just 10 to 15 pages a day, and you'll be surprised how quickly you build the habit. The fourth thing I always try to do is spend more time with my loved ones. I realized how important it is to make time for friends and family. We often get caught up in our daily routines and forget about it, but evenings are the perfect chance to connect, have fun, and truly enjoy each other's company. I started organizing small gatherings, cooking with friends, or just going for walks together. We play board games, make dinner, or do something creative like painting or photography. These moments bring us closer and I've learned to appreciate every second spent with the people who matter to me. Experience has shown me that shared activities create unique memories. A few times, we all got together at someone's place and made homemade pizza. Everyone brought their own ingredients, and in the end, we created the most delicious pizza ever. It wasn't just fun, it strengthened our bond. So, if you often find yourself spending evenings alone, try inviting people over or going out for coffee. It'll make your nights feel much more meaningful. The fifth habit I introduced into my life is journaling. You know, when I write down my thoughts, I feel like I have better control over my emotions. My journal has become a personal space for me. I don't just keep track of my tasks, I also write about my emotions and reflections. This helps me understand what truly matters to me and what doesn't. I take time to acknowledge both my successes and failures, analyzing what I can improve. It's not just about organizing my thoughts, it's about truly reflecting on each day. I feel more focused and motivated to push myself further. Additionally, I started setting small goals for myself, whether for a week or a month. This keeps me motivated and allows me to see the progress I'm making. Journaling isn't just about writing things down. It's a journey into my own mind and emotions. It feels like having a conversation with myself, helping me make sense of everything going on in my life. The sixth habit I tried was meditation. At first, I was skeptical. I thought it was something for people who wanted to escape reality. But when I started dedicating just 10 to 15 minutes a day to meditation, it became a real eye-opener for me. Meditation helps to calm the mind and relieve stress after a long workday. I started with simple techniques, just finding a quiet place, sitting comfortably, and focusing on my breathing. At first, it was difficult. My thoughts kept wandering. But over time, I learned how to bring my attention back. I also began using meditation apps that helped me relax and dive deeper into the process. This practice allows me to become more aware of my emotions and experiences. It gives me a chance to just pause in the fast pace of life. If you haven't tried meditation yet, I highly recommend starting with simple techniques, many of which are available through mobile apps. It only takes a few minutes, but the impact can be huge. The seventh step was finding a hobby. I always knew what I enjoyed doing, but life got so busy that I abandoned my passions. So I decided to dedicate my evenings to hobbies, drawing, cooking, photography, and many other things that bring me joy. Now, I spend time doing what I love, and it feels incredibly freeing. I started posting my culinary creations on social media, which not only allowed me to create but also to engage with others. It's important to remember that inspiration can be found in the smallest things. I also began photographing nature and sharing my work with friends. It gave me a new perspective on the world. You can try signing up for courses, attending workshops, or simply starting something you've always wanted to do. The key is to find joy in the creative process. Eighth, setting screen time limits. I realized that when I don't set boundaries with my devices, my evenings just disappear. I often found myself spending hours on social media or binge-watching shows. And in the end, it didn't bring any real value. Now, I set clear limits. For example, I try to avoid screens at least an hour before bed. This helps me sleep better and wake up feeling more refreshed. I also noticed that when I reduced my screen time, I suddenly had more time for hobbies, meaningful conversations, and even just proper relaxation. Additionally, it allowed me to focus on more productive and enjoyable activities. I started dedicating time to reading, drawing, or even meditating. This small change completely transformed my evenings, making them more fulfilling and intentional. Ninth, spending time outdoors. I realized that being outside, surrounded by nature, is incredibly beneficial. A simple walk in the fresh air helps not just physically, but mentally as well. After spending the whole day in an office or in front of a screen, stepping outside feels like a true refresh. I make it a habit to go for evening walks. It can be as simple as a short stroll in the nearest park. Even 30 minutes can make a huge difference. While walking, I breathe deeply, reflect on my day, and sometimes listen to music or just enjoy the silence. Nature helps me relax and recharge. You can also plan small outdoor picnics with friends or even have a meal outside. And if you love animals, getting a dog is a great way to stay active and enjoy more fresh air every day. And finally, number 10, learning something new. I decided that my evenings shouldn't just be about entertainment, but also about self-improvement. So I started taking online courses that inspire me to explore new topics and develop new skills. And the best part? It's so accessible and engaging nowadays. I signed up for a few courses in programming and design, and I've been enjoying every moment. Learning new tools, working on projects, and interacting with other students has been incredibly rewarding. You don't have to choose something complicated. Try learning about cooking, picking up a new language, or even getting into drawing. It's a great way to make your evenings more meaningful and fulfilling. So, these are the 10 things I did to stop wasting my evenings on meaningless distractions. As a result, my life has become more fulfilling and exciting, and I finally feel like I'm spending my time wisely. Each of these changes brought something valuable into my routine, and I hope they can help you too. If you're thinking about trying any of these tips or have your own ways to make the most of your evenings, feel free to share them in the comments. Your advice might inspire someone else. Don't forget to subscribe and leave a like if you found this video helpful. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.
Don't forget to subscribe, please.